Hi Caroline, it's Auntie. I'm gonna read you a book today because I just was looking on my YouTube channel and realized that it's been like 6 months since I read you a book, which is kind of rude. I can't believe I let you last that long without a book. Anyway, this is one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Purple, Green, and Yellow. It's written by, or I don't know which one wrote it and which one illustrated it, but Robert Munsch and Helene Desputo. These guys, right here. These two homies worked real hard on this book. It has been my favorite book for 1,000 bazillion years. My mom never read it to me because, well, she read it to me sometimes, but like not a lot because it's super long and like kind of nuts. So we're gonna do our best. Oh, here it is. So it was written by Robert Munsch and the illustrations are by Helene. That long name. So we're gonna read this book. Your mom's probably gonna kill me because it's like not the best influence on a toddler, but we're just gonna go for it. Sorry, sister. All right, so first page says, Bridget went to her mother and said, I need some coloring markers. All of my friends have coloring markers. They draw wonderful pictures. Mummy, I need some coloring markers. Oh no, said her mother. I've heard about those coloring markers. Kids draw on the walls, they draw on the floor, and they draw on themselves. You cannot have any coloring markers. See? Well, said Bridget, there are these new coloring markers and they wash off with just water. I can't get into any trouble with those coloring markers. They just wash right off. Get me some of those, please. Well, said her mother, all right. So her mother went out and got Bridget 500 washable coloring markers. Bridget went up to her room and drew wonderful pictures. She drew lemons that were yellower than lemons and roses that were redder than roses. She drew oranges that were oranger than oranges. You see her drawing up a storm? Her mother was amazed. She said, wow, my child is an artist. But after about a week, Bridget got bored. She went to her mother and said, Mom, did I draw on the wall? No, her mother said. Did I draw on the floor? No, her mother said. Did I draw on myself? No, her mother said. Well, said Bridget, I didn't get into any trouble, and I need some new coloring markers. All of my friends have them, Mommy. There are coloring markers that smell. They have ones that smell like roses and lemons and oranges, and even the ones that smell like cow plops. Mom said, whoops, that's not what she said. Mom, they have coloring markers that smell like anything you want. Mom, I need those coloring markers now. Her mother went out and bought her 500 coloring markers that smelled. Then Bridget went upstairs and drew more pictures. She drew lemons that smelled like lemons, and roses that smelled like roses, and oranges that smelled like oranges, and even cow plops that smelled like cow plops. See her? She got a lot of markers. Her mother said, wow, my kid is an artist. But after about a week, Bridget got bored again. She said, Mom, did I draw on the floor? No, said her mother. Did I draw on the walls? No, said her mother. Did I draw on myself? No, said her mother. Well, I guess I need some new coloring markers, said Bridget. These are just the best kind. All of my friends have them, and they're super indelible, never come off until you die, and maybe even later coloring markers. Mom, I need them. See, look at all her markers. So her mother went out and got her 500 more super indelible, never come off until you die, and maybe even later than coloring markers. Bridget took them and drew pictures for 3 weeks. She drew lemons that looked better than lemons, and roses that looked better than roses, and oranges that looked better than oranges, sunsets that looked better than sunsets. See? And then she got bored. She said, I'm tired of drawing on paper, but I'm not going to draw on the walls, and I'm not going to draw on the floor, and I'm not going to draw on myself. But everybody knows it's okay to color your fingernails. Even my mother colors her fingernails. So Bridget took a purple, super indelible, never come off until you die, and maybe even later, coloring markers. And she colored her thumbnail bright purple. See, she's gonna get in trouble. And that was so pretty that she colored all of her fingernails purple, black, and yellow. And then that was so pretty that she colored her hands yellow, green, and red. See, she's coloring her fingernails. Uh-oh, now she's coloring her hands. But then that was so pretty that she colored her face purple, green, and yellow, and even blue. And then that was so pretty that she colored her belly button blue too. See? And then that was so pretty that she colored herself all sorts of colors and almost her entire body all over. Then Bridget looked in the mirror and said, "Oh no, what have I done? My mother is going to kill me." So she ran into the bathroom and washed her hands for half an hour. Nothing came off. Her hands still looked like a mixed up rainbow. She's washing her hands, nothing's happening. I don't know, Bridget, you've done it now. Then she had a wonderful idea. She reached all the way down into the bottom of her coloring markers and got one of those special colored markers. It was the same color that she was. She took that marker and colored herself all over until she was regular color again. In fact, she looked better than before, almost too good to be true. She went downstairs and her mother said, "Why, Bridget, you're looking really good today." She said, "I know, right?" Then her mother said, "It's time to wash your hands for dinner." But Bridget was afraid that the special color would not stick to the colors underneath. And she said, "I already washed my hands." See? She's all regular human color again. But it's not real. But her mother smelled her hands and said, "Ah, no soap." She took Bridget into the bathroom and washed her hands and face again. All the special color came off and Bridget looked like mixed up rainbows again. "Oh no," said her mother. "Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that wash off?" "No." "Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that smell?" "No." "Did you use the super indelible never comes off till you die and maybe even later coloring markers?" "Yes." "Yikes," yelled the mother. "Oh no, what have we done?" She called the doctor and said, "Help, help, help. My daughter has colored herself with super indelible never come off until you're dead and maybe even later coloring markers." "Oh dear," said the doctor. "Sometimes they never come off." The doctor came over and gave Bridget a very large orange pill. He said, "Here, take this pill, wait 5 minutes, and then take a bath." Bridget took the pill, waited 5 minutes, and jumped right into the bathtub. Her mother stood outside the door and said, "Is it working? Is it working?" What do you think? Is it going to work? Do you think she'll be able to take a bath and clean her marker off of her body? I don't know. We'll find out. "Yes," she said. "Everything is coming right off." And Bridget was right. Everything did come off. When Bridget walked out of the bathroom, she was invisible. "Oh no," yelled her mother. "You can't go to school if you're invisible. You can't get into university if you're invisible. You'll never get a job if you're invisible. Bridget, you ruined your life." Awfully dramatic, but it's kind of true. Look at, you can't even see her. She's definitely not getting a job. "Don't worry," said Bridget. She ran into her room and grabbed the special coloring marker and colored herself entirely all over until you couldn't even tell the difference. In fact, she looked better than she did before, almost too good to be true. But her mother said, "Bridget, you can't go through life like that. You're just a picture. Everyone will know there's something wrong with you." "No, they won't," said Bridget. "Yes, they will," said her mother. See, look, she was invisible and now she's coloring herself back in. Mom's not thrilled. But like, moms, am I right? "No, they won't," said Bridget. "I colored Daddy while he was taking a nap and you haven't noticed anything yet." "Good heavens," yelled her mother, and she ran into the living room and looked at Daddy. He even looked better than before, almost too good to be true. "Doesn't he look great?" asked Bridget. "I couldn't even tell the difference," said her mother. "Right," said Bridget, "and neither will he." See, that's their dad. Can't even tell. He looks perfect. As long as he doesn't get wet. Thanks. And that's the end of that book. I don't know why in my brain it was a lot longer than that, but that's the book. Again, purple, green, and yellow. It's a good one. Love her. Love her markers. See? She's an artiste, which is why I thought you would like that book, because you also are an artiste. I have multiple pieces of your work, and I'm thrilled to announce that I will be starting a collection. And maybe someday when you're rich and famous, I will sell them on eBay and make $1 million. Because that's what my life has come to. So I might start a YouTube channel. I guess I kind of already have one, but it's like only you that watches the videos. Yeah, I don't know. It's an idea. Maybe a podcast. I don't know. I'm bored. I feel like I need to do something with my life. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how's things? How's your day? How's your Barbies? How's your life? I miss you a bunch, and I miss my sister a bunch. Yeah, that's like kind of it. I don't really have anything fun to share today. So yeah, what do you think? Should I start a YouTube channel? Should I do that? I'm 30. Is that like, am I losing my mind? Pastrami, what do you think? Pastrami's not here. I'm sorry, I tricked you. So yeah, I mean, I can do like a good 10 minutes reading a book to a toddler. So I must be able to just do another like 20 minutes of just myself talking to my phone. Somebody's gotta like it, right? I got a lot of stuff to say. Cause like you have therapy and stuff, and like you talk in therapy, and that's all fine and great. But it's just kind of like, you know, I guess you don't, because you're 2.5 and you don't go to therapy. But maybe someday, like when you're older and you do go to therapy, if that's something that you decide you want to do, you'll get it, you know? I feel like you're like not quite on my level right now. And that's fine. Doesn't mean I don't love you anymore. Like I definitely love you the most. But we just don't really vibe because you're 2.5 and I'm 30. Why am I talking to a 2-year-old like you're my therapist? See, this is why I need a YouTube channel or a podcast. I just need to tell people the things, you know? Not that anybody cares. Maybe they do. I don't know. You know what? This has been 12 minutes and it's been real and I love you, but I think it's time for me to go find something to do. Because this is a little crazy. So yeah, I love you so much. Mwah. Have a lovely day.